Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Today we have an interesting topic which is called the cognitive government, reinventing government services with artificial intelligence. And the important thing about this is that we will have a platform that provides services that are personalized, more effective and efficient, provide more governance and less bureaucracy. It will also have impacts on the social setup. So the cognitive government will affect the workforce of the future. It will also help with improving fairness through ethical AI and removing bias. And it will have an impact on the economy through improving GDP by providing a new set of skills that will help businesses and individuals improve productivity, increase investments in digital infrastructure, and open data assets. The whole story starts and ends with data. Data is going to be the oil of the 21st century, and AI is the electricity of the 21st century. I'm very pleased to stand here because IBM is a founding member of Area 2071, which has a very ambitious vision for this country to be #1 at its centennial. We've also participated in many initiatives like the Dubai 10X, which is an initiative that holds Dubai to be 10 years ahead of other cities in all different aspects. This place here also probably has one of the first cognitive services that this country saw. It was an extraordinary marriage ceremony attended by His Highness, where Watson arranged the service with more than 14 different entities. It was one of the first cognitive services that we can talk about. But let me explain what cognitive and AI means. In Arabic, cognitive means idraki, al-hawsaba al-idrakiyya, which means a government that understands and behaves like human beings. Let me go to the third industrial revolution to understand how computing changed the world 50 years ago, and then draw some parallels with how AI is going to change our world these days. 50 years ago, exactly last week, IBM helped the NASA mission Apollo 11 put the first man on the moon. At that time, we had 4,000 experts and a lot of computing power working for many months to get the first person onto the moon. Today, each one of you has more computing power on their mobile phone. So what happened in the last 50 years is that the cost of computing or arithmetic went down dramatically. And because we were able to do computing faster, quicker, finer, and better than humans, we were able to apply it to many of our life aspects. And this has changed our life in everything. Everything that becomes cheaper, better, faster, we use more of it, and we apply it in different aspects of our life. That's a common rule of economics. So when computing became cheaper, faster, and quicker, we started to use it to other life aspects. For example, banking became a computing discussion. It became an information business. Communication became an information business dependent on computing. Music became a digital offering, became based on computing. You have more musical instruments in your device today than maybe a full orchestra. Photography, which has always been a chemical challenge or an issue, has become a digital or a computing issue because we have a huge computing power at very cheap rates. So we started to apply it to different things. Now this took us to the fourth industrial revolution, where today we have very cheap computing power. We have connectivity that is beyond what we ever imagined in the past. And we've got huge amounts of data that is being generated every day and to be generated. So we live in a world that's abundant with data and capability around processing data. That means that I now have the ability to look at this data, process it, and predict patterns in this data and trends. And when I can predict patterns and trends, I can do prediction very quickly and efficiently and cheap. So the third industrial revolution helped us with computing. The fourth industrial revolution enables us to predict quicker, cheaper, faster than we were ever able to do. And I'm linking prediction with cognition, because cognition is a human attribute that we use every day. When I look at a picture, I predict that this picture is the picture of this person. When I look at these symbols, I predict that these have a certain meaning. That's the way I'm predicting. The more data I have, the more experience I have, the more I will learn. So in the fourth industrial revolution, we're using data to predict. So in the third industrial revolution, the cost of computing went down. In the fourth industrial revolution, the cost of prediction went down dramatically. And that enabled us to mimic human behaviors. If I look at the beginnings of artificial intelligence, 20 years ago, Garry Kasparov was playing against the IBM Deep Blue computer, and it was a game of prediction. We met Garry Kasparov, he was here in Dubai, and he told us that in his mind, he probably puts together 5 to 7 different moves. And these are all structured moves, and makes certain predictions on how the opponent might react. And this is his strategy. So Deep Blue could do 50,000 predictions. And this is how, using scale, a machine was able to beat a human. 20 years later, we moved into a new world around unstructured data. The computer was able to listen certain waves, sound waves, and predict the intent of the question and come up with answers. And again, the computer was able to do it at scale, faster, quicker, cheaper than the humans. And this is how an artificial intelligent system with a computer was able to beat a human brain. But the initial discussion here is all about the ability to predict, cognition, the ability to understand, analyze, and predict. Now this sits at the essence of everything we are doing in the new world and the fourth industrial revolution. Driving a driverless car in the previous world, where we were doing everything with computers, required us to write complex programs where we had to find different logic for every move. This would have been a very complicated program, and this is why you never saw self-driving cars in the previous revolution, because it was too complicated to write a program that handles every single attribute. Now I have an AI agent sitting next to a driver, learning from that driver. And within a week or two, it will capture every reaction to everything in the street and enable them to drive, and maybe become a better driver. We changed a very complex computing program into a very simple prediction challenge. The AI agent sitting next to the car driver can actually learn very quickly how to move forward, accelerate, decelerate, left, right, and react to things on the street. We've tremendously shifted the paradigm to become a cognitive prediction problem rather than a computing problem. If I look at human behaviors and human jobs, every single job is going to be impacted by this shift. Let me take a simple job like a call center agent. Today, if I have an AI agent sitting next to a person, they will learn within weeks what are the intents they are handling and how they are responding to them. And maybe within a very short time, this computer can handle this kind of service quicker, cheaper, faster than the human being. Actually, I have a real example from one of our customers that was chatting to one of our chatbots at the middle of the night trying to fix a technical problem. At the end of the chat, they sent a thank you note saying, "Thank you very much. It's us people who stay up late that make the difference." They thought they were talking to an individual or a person on the other side. So computers can become very efficient and effective because they learn about the intentions and the responses and the answers, and they can do it quicker, faster, and better. Every job is going to be impacted by this. My primary job is a manager. I work in the company as a manager, and a lot of the tasks that I do are repetitive tasks that require a lot of deep understanding of data. Today, we have Watson helping us in our day-to-day tasks as managers. For example, when we do appraisals or when we do pay rises every year, Watson does all the homework and comes back and says, for this individual, I suggest you give a 4% pay rise. And you start to chat with Watson, why do you suggest it? And Watson gives you back all the arguments, where they stand in the pay grade, what actions they have done in the past, what has their appraisals been like. So you've got all the information. And Watson makes a recommendation. But at the end of the day, it is you as the human manager who must make the right decision. We also use Watson, for example, to analyze the market and understand the trends, the financial trends. And then we develop a way to distribute our resources and our targets on the teams, again, based on recommendations coming from an engine like Watson that gives us these predictions. Doctors can now look at using artificial intelligence to become better, quicker, faster, and more effective and efficient, because machines analyzing certain diagrams or pictures or data sets are probably more accurate, quicker, and faster in the way they handle these things. And that improves productivity. Every job will be changed by AI. Everything we do will be impacted by AI as we develop in the next few years. And that change is going to happen very, very quickly, because the ability to predict is now becoming cheaper, quicker, faster than it was ever in the past. Now, moving from the individual discussions I've had into the enterprise discussion, because we now need to have an enterprise that thinks like an individual, and we are talking about a cognitive government. This is a government that understands data and provides personalized, effective, and efficient services across different environments. Earlier this year at the Davos World Economic Forum, IBM published a white paper on what it takes to transform businesses around AI capabilities or cognitive capabilities. The same way we transformed our businesses around computing in the last 50 years. And you can see that the important thing here is having a business platform that encapsulates people, data, and processes, and integrate them all together. And this is an important way of looking at things that will fundamentally change how enterprises will work with individuals and businesses. Let me give you an example from retail. Today we go to a retail site and we consume digital media, maybe Netflix or Amazon, or we go to Souk or Noon. Normally you have recommendations. You consume a certain digital media, it comes back with recommendations based on your knowledge and on other people's consumption of similar media at the same time. Today the accuracy of this prediction is probably 6, 5, 7%. And that means that they can, with relative accuracy, predict with 5% that you are going to buy or consume this kind of good or product if you have consumed this one. If you bought this shirt, you're likely to buy the other shirt. If you bought this book, you're likely to buy another one, and so on. Imagine with integration of data and a more depth analysis of the data and the person who is interacting, you can improve this to 50%. So I'm now talking about a 50% accuracy, that if someone engages with this government service, they are going to need this government service. If they're going to engage with this retail offering, they're going to take the other one. I will rechange all my processes and data streams to support this new change. This will impact my supply chain. This will impact everything that I'm doing in the background. Imagine now I can change that accuracy to 80%. So I now know with certainty that if you consume this digital asset or you engage with this service, that for 80% accuracy you're going to need or use the other one. This fundamentally shifts everything we know about personalization. In retail, it means a shift from ship to ship and shop. Retailers will send you the item before you even have ordered it or thought you need it, but with 90% or 80% accuracy that you will actually buy it and take it. And that changes the complete business model. Governments will be able to personalize their services to you because they understand and know exactly what you need and when you need it, and you will have a different level of engagement that's more effective, efficient, and helping to provide the services with you on time. The model also interacts with the outside-in engagement and inside-out engagement. we have to change a lot of our government processes to enable the digital government, or what we call the cognitive government, that helps us with predictions. I think some good examples in the UAE, maybe Ajman government has been the first one to change some of their key business processes around blockchain that enables them to interact with a bigger platform around AI in the future. But if I look at examples of outside in, meaning how will governments interact with businesses and individuals, there are many examples. For example, Smart Dubai has Rashid, which is the chatbot that enables you to interact in Arabic and English with the government, and it addresses thousands of intents, from renewing driver's license, asking questions about NOL, anything you want to do in Dubai, you can engage with Rashid in a very interactive way. Another very important example is what we see with RTA, Mahbub, for example. You have now a chatbot that enables you to interact with 90 different services with RTA. You don't only get information, but you actually do transactions through this agent. And that's a very transformative way of handling interfaces. DED has also announced a service that helps consumers register their complaints. So anything to do with consumer rights can actually go through this environment. You can see that this platform helps the government interact and transform with services and ways of transforming them. The important part is, of course, the middle platform that enables you to integrate people, processes, and data. And one of the good examples here is TEM, the platform in Abu Dhabi for digital transformation. They are transforming the user experience in Abu Dhabi into a digital one through what they call journeys or experiences. One of the journeys is, for example, a new home journey, where you actually go to one place to engage in finding a place to live, setting up your utilities, your telecommunications, even mawaqif for your parking. Everything goes through one integrated hub that gives you an integrated service. And there are 80 other services of that kind that are going to come on one platform to enable the cognitive transformation. We're doing a lot of work also in Dubai with Smart Dubai through what we call the AI lab and the data science lab. And with the AI lab, this is one of the first in the world where we have sat with many government entities and reviewed their business processes to see where can we use AI to transform their business. Where can we use AI to replace prediction or to replace human intervention? And we looked at many examples. One of the big examples was with Dubai Health Authority, where we now can analyze the vital data of patients and make very accurate predictions that will change the complete process of handling patients and moving them in and out of the organizations. This is one of a kind, and I think the fact that we were so successful in Dubai because we have a diverse set of data in Dubai, because we have such a cosmopolitan and diverse environment here that gives us deep data sets that help us do very good predictions. Similar examples we've had in education, in risk management, and in many other areas. And the good thing was that we were able to put an AI roadmap for the whole city. So we looked at all these initiatives. We tried to see where are the duplications. We tried to see where are the areas of common interest, and how can we build an AI roadmap that helps us put a single platform that becomes the cognitive engine for the city. Also, we worked with Smart Dubai on an environment that we call the data science lab, and it's so important to understand the impact of data. As I mentioned, Dubai and the UAE is very unique in the quality of the data that they have. And it all starts and ends with data, as I said. And the better your data sets, the more successful you will be when it comes to talking about AI and digital transformation. A lot of what we're talking about also has impacts on the humans and on the society. So there are two important things the cognitive government needs to focus on. One is the skill of the workforce of the future. The workforce of the future is going to change dramatically. As I mentioned, every job is going to be impacted. Every job is going to either be transformed dramatically using the prediction capabilities or the AI capabilities that we have. Many jobs will probably disappear. Many jobs will probably be created. And there will be a shift to what we call the required skills in the market and how the workforce of the future looks like. We've worked with the National Program for Artificial Intelligence in the UAE on many of the initiatives to enable skills, to promote skills around AI, data science, because these are going to be the fundamental skills of the future. I think in the future you will no longer be a doctor, an engineer, or a manager. You will be a data scientist first with a deep understanding of a certain domain. But the understanding of data is probably going to be key in everything we do. Another important aspect when we talk about social impact of cognitive government is the focus on ethics and removing of biases. These systems now get trained on data, and it's important to make sure that these data do not have any biases built into them and fairness around it. This is an important topic for every government talking about using AI and transforming its services using artificial intelligence. The European Union, the OECD, the UN, the World Economic Forum, all of them have established now ethics committees to make sure that the technology that they use, the data, the algorithms do not have any biases and promote fairness and drive that forward. And also in Dubai here we have an ethics board around AI that also looks after these tools and data sets and algorithms to make sure that we've got the right approach when we talk about AI in government and also in general. The biggest economic opportunity in the next few years, as per The Economist, is really digital transformation. And cognitive government plays a major role in this transformation. GDP by 2030 is going to be impacted by 20 to 15% with AI. That is going to be a complete transformation. The sectors to be impacted are probably mainly financial services, government, utility, transportation. It will impact every single aspect of our life. And with AI, we are going to be able to support governments through a cognitive government platform to provide businesses with a set of skills that enables them to be more productive, to increase their contribution. Also, individuals will become more productive because they will have a different skill set, and there will be a huge investment in digital infrastructure and open data sets, which will become the main assets for our future interventions and future interactions. The whole discussion starts with data and ends with data. The more deep and diverse data sets you have, the better the discussion and the transformation will be around the move into the cognitive government and the kind of services that you can deliver for the citizens and the businesses in these governments. It also enables you to have an international platform that helps you interact locally and globally in that space. So with this, I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what a cognitive government is, how we transform digital governments into the next level, which is the cognitive government, the importance of understanding that what made the third industrial revolution is the cheap, effective prices of computing, and what is behind the fourth industrial revolution with artificial intelligence is the cheap, effective ability to predict and mimic human behavior, and that is going to change a lot of the things that we are doing. And we need to start thinking of how to develop a platform that is based on that, not use the old platforms for the different purposes. We need to look at a new environment that is based for and built for artificial intelligence and data analytics and data science. Thank you. Thank you very much.